There are nights when the world feels distant, as if everything familiar has stepped a few inches away, leaving me alone with a quiet hum of thoughts I never learned to untangle. And in those moments, your name rises inside me like a tide I can't hold back, soft, inevitable, pulling at the shore of who I am, with a force I pretend not to understand. I sit here in the dim glow of a single lamp, watching the shadows move like they're rearranging themselves into the shape of all the things I wish I could say to you. It's strange how silence can feel crowded, filled with every look, every half smile, every unfinished sentence we left suspended in the air, like fragile lanterns that never found a place to land. Some memories refuse to fade, not because they're loud, but because they're quiet in a way that matters. Your laughter lingering in a hallway, your gaze drifting elsewhere when your heart was too full to stay steady. The way you'd breathe like you were trying not to break in front of someone who finally saw through you. I didn't realize then that I was memorizing everything. If you were here now, if the door opened slowly and you stepped inside with the same hesitant grace you always carried, I think the room would shift, as if it recognized you before I did. I wouldn't run to you, wouldn't speak your name, wouldn't drown the moment with explanations. I'd just let the quiet hold us and hope you could feel that I never stopped saving a place for you, even when I pretended otherwise. There's a heaviness in loving someone who became a season that never learned how to end. Some nights I tell myself I've healed, that the past is just a story I no longer belong to. But then the world grows still and the truth slips in through the cracks of my resolve like a familiar scent I thought I'd forgotten. I wonder if you ever pause in the middle of your day because a memory of me surfaced without your permission. I wonder if your heart ever stumbles for a fraction of a second when something reminds you of what we almost became. Not enough to break you, not enough to pull you under, just enough to whisper that some feelings don't dissolve with time. And if life ever grows quiet enough for us to meet again in the same moment, I hope you come with your truths unhidden, your fears unclenched, your heart unguarded. I won't ask for perfection, I never did. I'll take you as you are, with all the cracks, all the shadows, all the pieces you thought no one would want to hold. Until then, I'll remain here in this gentle dusk, letting the night breathe around me, carrying your name not like a wound, but like a distant melody I can't bring myself to forget. And maybe that's all love really is, the quiet persistence of remembering someone softly, even when the world insists you should let them go. world sinks into a kind of silence that feels almost deliberate, as if the night itself has paused just to watch how gently your memory moves through me. And tonight I find myself drifting into that quiet again, letting the darkness unfold like a letter I never had the courage to send. I sit here with my hands resting loosely in my lap, like they're afraid to hold anything too tightly. After losing so much without warning, the room feels heavy, not with pain, not with regret, but with the familiar kind of loneliness that whispers your name without raising its voice. It's strange how the smallest things remind me of you. The way the light bends on the wall, the hollow sound of my own breath, the slow ticking of a clock that seems to echo everything we ran out of time to say. I thought forgetting would come naturally, like dust settling on a shelf left untouched, but some memories never gather dust. They breathe, they wait. If I close my eyes long enough, I can still feel the faint warmth you left behind, not on my skin, but somewhere deeper, somewhere softer in the part of me that still believes you might return someday, with the same silence you left, with no drama, no explanations, just presence. If the door opened now and you stepped inside with that worn out gentleness you tried so hard to hide, I wouldn't ask for reasons or try to fit the past into neat little answers. I'd simply let the air shift, let the room breathe differently, let the unfinished parts of us recognize each other without needing permission. Sit in the chair across from me like you used to, not too close, not too far, that quiet distance where your fears felt safer, my heart felt louder, and in that fragile space between us, I'd finally admit what I've never said aloud. I didn't move on, I simply learned to live with the echo. In a dim room that still feels too big without you, breathing slowly, waiting gently, living carefully in a world that doesn't know you're still part of my every quiet thought. If you ever feel the night tug at you softly, subtly, like a forgotten promise, follow it, it might just lead you back to the place where my heart learned how to whisper your name long after the world stopped listening. Some nights don't arrive gently, they fall over you like a slow-moving shadow, covering every corner of your mind with the things you swore you would finally stop feeling. And tonight as the room sinks into its own quiet. I can't pretend I don't hear your name echoing in the spaces I kept empty for far too long. I sit with a dim light resting on my shoulders, watching the dust float like tiny memories suspended in the air. Memories that look harmless until they brush against my thoughts and open every door I tried so carefully to close. There's a softness in the ache you left behind, the kind that feels less like a wound and more like a familiar weight I've learned to carry without knowing when I picked it up. I wonder if you ever feel that same slow pull in your chest, that quiet tightening that reminds you of a moment that never fully belonged to you, yet refuses to disappear. I wonder if somewhere in a room as silent as this one, you paused mid-breath because the night whispered a memory you weren't ready to hear. If you walked in right now, I don't think I'd speak, not at first. There's too much between us for words to handle gently. Instead, I'd let the silence settle around us, let the air shift slowly as our hearts try to remember how to move in the same direction again. Sometimes the deepest conversations are the ones shared without a single sound. I'd watch the way your eyes wander, the way they always did when your heart was searching for a place to rest that didn't exist yet. And maybe this time, just maybe, you'd realize that there's a quiet corner of my soul that has been waiting for your tiredness, your uncertainty, your unspoken truths. Not to fix them, but to finally give them a home that doesn't ask for perfection. If the world outside feels too loud tomorrow, if your thoughts grow heavy and start pulling you apart from the inside out, you can come back here to this room, this quiet, this version of me that still holds your name like something sacred. I won't ask why you stayed away. Some absences don't need reasons, they just need forgiveness. And until the day when our paths choose each other again, I'll remain here in the soft hum of midnight, listening to the way my heartbeat hesitates at your memory, feeling the slow burn of something unfinished that refuses to dim. Maybe that's what love becomes when time gets in the way. Not a flame, not a storm, but a quiet persistence that waits in the dark until the heart is brave enough to open the door again. There are nights when the silence feels heavier than any truth I've ever tried to carry. And tonight is one of those nights, the kind where the walls seem to lean closer, listening to the thoughts I've tried too hard to keep hidden behind a steady voice and tired eyes that pretend to be fine. I sit here breathing slowly as if exhaling too fast might scatter every fragile memory of you that I've held on to like a secret vow. It's strange how the heart can cling to something it never fully had, how it can choose a ghost over the comfort of forgetting. The room hums with a quiet that feels almost alive, as if the darkness itself remembers the way your shadow once fit into this space. I trace that memory in my mind, your posture, your silence, the way you filled the air without ever needing to speak. There was a softness in your presence that the world could never imitate. Sometimes I close my eyes just to hear the echo of your voice in the hollow places time left behind. And even though I know the sound isn't real anymore, I let it linger because some illusions hurt less than the truth you never stayed to explain. If you walk through the door right now, I wonder if I'd even recognize the version of you standing there. People change, hearts shift, distances reshape us into strangers with memories, but a part of me believes that the light in your eyes would still flicker the same way it did when the world felt too heavy for you to hold alone, and I'd welcome you in quietly, carefully, the way one invites the rain. After months of drought, not because it fixes anything, but because it reminds you you're still capable of feeling. I wouldn't ask for reasons or apologies soaked in regret. Sometimes two people carry the same wound from opposite sides of the night and still find themselves reaching for the same impossible healing. But until that impossible moment chooses us, I'll stay here in the dim glow of a lamp that flickers like an old heartbeat, letting the night unravel me one breath at a time. There's a certain peace in admitting you miss someone, not with desperation, but with a quiet understanding that some connections don't disappear, they simply learn to live in the spaces between who we were and who we're becoming. And if someday your footsteps find their way back to this silent room I keep warm for you, you'll hear the soft truth that's been waiting to be spoken. You were never a chapter, you were a whole story. I still read slowly in the dark. Some nights have a way of pulling you inward, as if the darkness knows exactly where your thoughts hide and gently guides you back to the places you tried so hard not to revisit. Tonight feels like one of those nights, quiet, slow, patient, pressing its palm against my chest until every truth I've been avoiding rises to the surface like a forgotten prayer. I sit here with the window half open, letting the cold air slip across my skin, as though it's trying to remind me that I'm still alive, still capable of feeling, even when I've spent the entire day pretending to be numb. And in that fragile breath of wind, I swear I can still hear echoes of you, the soft rhythm of your voice, the hesitation in your laughter, the weight of your silence when your heart was too full to hold itself together. There's a certain tenderness in the way your memory lingers, not demanding attention, not tearing open old wounds, just existing quietly like a small candle flame, refusing to go out even after the storm has passed. Sometimes I wonder if I was ever more than a moment to you, more than a passing warmth on a night you wished you could forget. But then I remember the way your eyes softened when you looked at me, as if they recognized something familiar long before you had the courage to admit it. And that's when I know some connections don't need definition to feel real. If you walk through that door right now, I think the world would fall away in one slow exhale. I wouldn't rush to speak, wouldn't ask why you left or why you stayed gone so long. I'd simply watch the way you take your first step toward me, the way uncertainty tugs at your shoulders. Before relief settles behind your ribs, there are conversations that only two tired souls can have without a single word. And maybe, just maybe, you'd sit beside me, letting your breath steady against the rhythm of the night. We'd share the same quiet, the same warmth, the same fragile understanding that neither of us ever really said goodbye. We just paused in different directions. But until that impossible moment chooses us, I'll let the night swallow my doubts one by one, letting them drift into the darkness where they can't hurt me anymore. I'll let myself miss you in ways that feel soft instead of sharp, warm instead of hopeless. Because sometimes missing someone gently is the closest thing to healing that a heart can manage. And when the dawn arrives with its pale, uncertain light, I'll gather myself slowly, carrying the quiet truth I've learned to live with, that some stories don't end. They linger in the spaces between breaths, waiting for the moment when two hearts finally decide